Oh boy. I kind of predicted eventually I'd have to make this video. Unfortunate situation, but, well, not too much that I can do about it. Basically, if you have been keeping up with Genius, they have recently announced on, I believe it's just their Facebook and their Patreon so far, that they're officially shutting down and that Genius Inc. has come to an end. I don't know if that's just the Bishujo side or if the Otome side is shutting down as well, to be honest. But they are going under a new name and they are rebranding. And honestly, I hope that the rebrand works because I do still believe that Genius as a company can do great things. I've seen it before and I want to stay cautiously optimistic about this, because this is a company that I've enjoyed the products of so much, and I just hope that they don't run into the same issues that they have in the past. I've already made a video talking about the downfall, what caused the severe decline in the player base that eventually led to this, but there is one thing that I'm very concerned about for the future of Interactive Inc., what their name will be after the rebrand. And that is that I've heard rumors about they're focusing on sequels. Now, if you don't know how sequels work for the already existing Genius games, it's mostly just the really popular ones that get it. Like, Rental Girlfriend has a second season and both the Selena and Zoe side story that you can choose. My After School Girlfriend has like 4 different stories that you can choose between. However, they are all different girls as far as I'm aware, which is really cool because it's all fit into the space of one out. Then Dating My High School Bully only has 1 chapter but has 2 side stories. And My Foxy Girlfriend has, I think, a Tsukiko side story and a second season. So it's mostly just the really popular ones. And I hope that that's something that they change, because there are some stories that genuinely have a lot of potential and need some expansion. Like Spellbound Skullgirls. I've talked about this so much. I don't know if I talked about it when I made my playthrough series of it a while back, but the ending it was so rushed and it disappointed me so much, because you have this new threat that's bigger than anything we've seen. We see the headmaster straight up get fucking killed, and then we just escape her and you choose the girl that you want your character to be with at the end of it. It's just a really disappointing ending that we just got a new strong character who is a bigger threat than anything we've seen in the past, and now we're just ignoring that to choose the girl. And it could have used that so much. Or like, I've been talking to one of my Discord friends, Clover, about this, because I met him through the Genius community, or I guess more through Ember Fox's playthroughs and shit. But yeah, like, My Magical Girlfriend could have a new story with, like, the girls having to come back due to a threat from their world coming into your world and causing chaos. And meanwhile, they have to struggle with trying to reconnect with you after they lost any form of communication or connection, while trying to find out more about themselves and how to play off of each other as a group. Because it just seems like a natural way for the story to develop. Or time only knows, we could get a completely new mystery character, at least mystery at the beginning, who tried to have another assassination attempt on you. And instead of the 3 girls from the first season being suspects, they would be assistants to try to help you find out who was the one that tried to assassinate you this time. And of course, we'd get more of Dr. Keiko, the best side character in all of Genius, hands down. like, there are legitimately good ideas for sequels. I'm just naming off a couple of the ones that I've had, and I really hope that these sequels that we get will be actually important and expand on the stories in a good, meaningful way, and not just in a meaningless, extra content, slop filled, doesn't really make any difference to the story way. Because especially seeing the characters not go through anything and not change at all would be the most disappointing thing. Because the reason why so many people read through these visual novels is for the characters. And I don't know about anyone else, but I know for me that even if it's not a visual novel, when I am judging a work of art, one of the first things that I look for is the characters. Like any book, any movie, any story-based video game, characters make up like 6 out of 10 points when I'm doing a 0 to 10 ranking. It's just that important. If a character has, or if a game has phenomenal characters, but terrible in everything else, I'm most likely going to give it a 6. But then you have cases like A Summer of Memories, which, don't get me wrong, it has Kate, one of the best genius girls to ever exist. And that's absolutely hands down. If you haven't played Summer of Memories, then honestly, I feel bad for you because now it's permanently offline. But let's hope that that's one of the ones they remaster. Anyway, like, it had Kate as one of the few upsides to the story. Absolutely brilliant character, one of the best that Genius has ever made. And then it has Eva, Lucy, Paul, the MC's mom, Eva's dad. It's just so frustrating all around. And that brought it down from, like, it has a good story. It has genuinely great artwork as well. The soundtrack, I've only heard one song from it because most of the time I play through the Genius games like playing my own music and I don't have the sound on, but I heard that one track and it was absolutely fucking majestic. It was angelic. It was astounding. But so, like, that's like 4 different characters weighing it down all at once, and it just becomes so frustrating to the point where I can barely stand playing through it, and the only reason that I'm able to is because Kate's character. So I hope that when they do their sequels, it's to stories that will actually need and benefit from sequels, and it's in an expansive way and not just for money, because a lot of that is also what killed Genius in the past. Now, one thing that I think has contributed to the death of Genius that I didn't think of until recently, so that's why it wasn't in the last video, is that their roster of female writers has went down and down until I don't even know if there are any females on the Bushido side anymore. And how does that affect the writing? This isn't going to be some sort of, in the wokeness. No, I'm staying out of politics with this one. But the lack of female writers, I have noticed, whenever it gets lower and lower, leads to a lot of the female characters that we see being just a straight stereotype with no real character growth or change in character relations over time. Which, before the female writers started to leave Genius at increasing rates, we only really saw with specifically Dexter Pickett's work, which I don't know if I'm going to get to him in the future. He just... his works are some of the most notorious from Genius, and I've put off working on the My Dragon Girlfriend essay because that game is just so I don't want to go through it again. That's fucking traumatizing. But anyway, the lack of depth and female characters is something that really drained a lot of my interest in Genius games. And I hope that that's another thing that they can fix. Even if they don't start hiring more female employees, at least try to take some advice from them on how to write these characters and how to make them not complete stereotypes, because that would breathe so much more life into the games again. But yeah, Genius died. They're rebranding, mostly focusing on sequels. Hopefully the sequels mean something and are actually expansive. Hopefully we'll get a few remasters as well, specifically for the games that are now offline or no longer available in the App Store. I hope the best for the company. I know realistically it's most likely going to fail, but I'm going to hold out hope, and we'll see how it goes from here. Good luck, Genius.